was my answer to everything.
Hey guys and gals, welcome to this week's Pre-Foreclosure Tip of the Week. Pre-Foreclosure Daily Grind. It's Chris the Drummer Bowles and Bob LaChance. How you guys doing? I don't know if you noticed. I don't know. We should probably zoom in at your nose right there. But check out his nose this morning. He's got a huge Band-Aid on it right now. So what happened, Chris? Did you get hit with a drumstick this weekend?
No, it was a bar fight. Took down 3 dudes. One of them snuck in a shot. Wait a minute. I don't think anyone's wearing a pink shirt can be in the place to say anything.
I got a pink shirt today. My wife did dress me, so don't. Tell us about your nose real quick, though, dude.
I was a friend of mine. She's got house sitting, man. She's got a farm of animals over there. Just a couple golden retrievers. I was just being stupid, wrestling with them and all.
Nice.
Nothing.
All right, let's get to this week's pre-foreclosure tip of the week. A Band-Aid and a pink shirt. We're good to start that off. But anyway, this week we're going to go over a deal that we have in Florida right now, and in particular what we need as loss mitigators or agents or investors to know right up front when we're evaluating a deal. That's a good one, about evaluating a deal.
Very good.
Number one. And two of the other things we're going to talk about are Equator-specific, Bank of America-specific. One of them has to do with, we've gotten this question 2 times this week, why they need the buyer's Social Security number within the Equator system. Mm-hmm. And then number 3, what was it, number 3?
Extension on an approval.
How to get an extension on a short sale approval letter, how to extend that date. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now let's backtrack about how to evaluate a deal, and the deal that we actually have here, not evaluate the deal, how to evaluate the repairs needed, if you will.
Yeah, well, it's obviously, a lot of you guys, we're in the business here. A lot of buyers these days, we get a lot of FHA buyers. So when you're evaluating a deal, you're taking on something, you're talking with the sellers, you're talking with the listing agent upon starting it up. Very, very important to think like an FHA inspector.
Yep.
And you want to very carefully go over the property because basically, as all you guys know, as is purchase, short sales and as is purchase, which means that
your offer needs to be inclusive of repairs that
right.
you visually see. Repairs
right.
like we all know, we can look at a roof and say, hey, it may have a shelf life left of 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Mm-hmm. You don't need an inspector to do that.
Right.
Does the furnace, boiler, or heating or cooling system work or doesn't work?
Right. Right.
Is there a buried oil tank in the backyard? Certain parts of this country, that's what happens.
Right.
Are there frozen pipes? Is there a leak here or there? Is there chipped paint around a windowsill? Mm-hmm. Stuff like that. If you're an agent, make sure you talk to an FHA-approved inspector and exactly little things that they look for.
Right.
So when we're looking and we're evaluating a deal or we're doing the negotiating, mm-hmm. this is what we do up front. We say, listen, is there any shelf life left on the roof? How old is the roof? So we ask them general condition, repair conditions that we need, property conditions, right. Due to the fact so we can set those expectations right up front.
Right, because here's the ramifications basically of what an as-is condition means and how it works out when you've got an FHA buyer. And with our property in Florida, here's how basically it shook out. Was in our case, the roof did in fact need to be repaired. And per the inspector, had to be repaired prior to close. That's, when a buyer's getting an FHA loan, there's often going to be repairs that have to be done.
So they came back with what, $6,500 or something?
$6,500, and obviously, as we probably again all know, a lot of FHA buyers can barely put together their 3.5% for their down payment.
And our seller doesn't have the money to pay for it, blah blah
which
blah.
Which is why we're doing the short sale to begin with. So this.
So we're in a kind of a catch-22.
Right. Can often be a deal killer because most lenders are not going to pay for those repairs. That's why it's an as-is value.
That's number 1. Bank of America number 2. Let's talk about Social Security numbers. Why do they need it? I know you spoke to a mitigator this week already.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
What did they say about it? What was the main reason why they pulled it?
Well, they in case they want to check out the buyer's financing kind of
financing. Because what they want to do is we need to put the buyer's Social Security number in there. Because sometimes they'll check their credit, number 1, and check because they'll be able to look at their credit and say if they can get financed or not. That's one of the biggest things why they do it. So, for the 2 people who asked me that, that's the answer. But anyway, number 3, how to get an extension on a Bank of America short sale within the Equator system. What do you do, Chris?
Once you have your written approval, okay, the negotiators send out the written approval, they send out the closing worksheet with all the itemized costs on it. Right after that's sent out, okay, they're going to generate a task. And if you guys maybe not as familiar with Equator, the negotiators on the bank side, okay, they generate the tasks that the agents, or ourselves, we complete. They'll generate a task, okay, asking for the final HUD and the info for the escrow or title agent or attorney or whatever, as well as some of the other numbers. And so what you want to do is you want to respond back and complete that task, okay? But when you upload that final HUD, I actually had a negotiator tell me this in an email. He basically said, send in just a cover sheet, okay, with the HUD, okay? Just a cover, doesn't have to be anything fancy, just with a quick little, like, here's what I need. I need an extension good through, I spoke to the attorney or the title agent. I need an extension good through this date, or whatever it is. Maybe you need a couple grand for concessions at the buy that wasn't you weren't aware of, whatever it is. Just throw a quick cover sheet on there on top of the HUD. Send it as one file, and and they'll get to it. And what happens is it just goes back to the phase 2 negotiator, and they'll review it, and then usually takes a couple weeks. They'll get you back.
And what we're going to do anyway, we're going to do a webinar. I think it's next Wednesday night or Thursday night, Chris and I, on how to use the Equator system. So that's going to be pretty cool. We're also doing a webinar next week on Tuesday on how to best use our ManageMyShortSale.com system that we just upgraded and changed to PropTracker.com, which it's Prop Tracker with no ER. It's only R, just like Flickr or Net, whatever the heck that's called. But anyway. If you go to ManageMyShortSale.com, that's our online short sale management and real estate tool. We actually upgraded to where it can take care of all of real estate transactions, not just specifically loan mods and short sales. Pretty sweet. Check it out. You can take a 14-day free trial with that thing. It's killer. We're just upgrading a ton of more stuff. So, but anyway, Chris the Drummer Bowes, Bob by Chance with this week's Preforeclosure Tip of the Week.